our 10th annual San Diego Transgender Day of Remembrance. Thank you for those who marched, despite the rain. The reason that we're here tonight in a little rain is nothing compared to what these people had to go through, and unfortunately having to have this event happen at all. So most of you know the history that this was started to honor Rita Hester, who was murdered many years ago, and we don't want to forget people who were mostly viciously murdered simply for who they are, because they're transgender, because they were perceived to be transgender, or because they were helping or a partner of a transgender person. I remember last year we had one of the victims was an 18-month-old baby boy whose father perceived him to be too girly and beat him to death. So there's no limit to who we're honoring tonight and remembering, because we are people who live to be ourselves, to be who we truly are, despite the odds, despite the pain, despite how hard it is. And we stand up with courage and we say to the world, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to live my life. And because of that, we lose some people. For me, the object of having this night is to remember those people that we lost, but to have us go forward, to spread the word, to be an ally, to speak out, to help educate, so that this never has to happen again, so that we don't have to lose anyone simply because someone feared them or disliked or hated them, simply for the person that they were. So after you leave here tonight, remember to take this with you and not to forget. When you go out into the world and you hear co-workers talk about trans people in a derogatory way, when you see someone being bullied in the schoolyard or even at work, when you on your Facebook and your Twitter and all your other social media, put the word out whenever you can. Answer people who are being evil about anybody who is different. Because this isn't just about transgender people. This is about gay and lesbian people. This is about disabled people. This is about anybody who's a little bit different than what we consider the norm in this crazy society of ours. So don't forget that it's for everyone that we do this. So tonight we're going to have a video that was made for us by Caden Montana. And Caden, would you like to come up and tell them about your
share? It was a little different. It was kind of harder for me and sad. We're putting together a video this year. We had to include 2 people from our community that we lost this year. And that's the first time since I've been here in 3 years that we've had to include people from our own community. We lost Reich in December, passed away in his sleep. And we lost Nathan in April, and he was hit and killed by a driver on I-8 who didn't even stop to see if he needed help. He just simply hit him and took off. And Nathan and Reich impacted the community, and they impacted people. Reich, bless his heart, he was involved in the leather community, he was involved in the cowboy community, he was involved in the queer community. He got involved wherever he could get involved. And for both of them, it saddens my heart that they're not here this year, although I guess their tears are falling with us today as they provided the rain for us to be here. But their legacy will forever leave an impression on the hearts, souls, and minds of the people in the community that they touched. So the latter part of this video this year is dedicated to the memory of Nathan.
A wonderful friend of mine and a friend to our community. He is the director of the UCSD LGBT Resource Center, Mr. Sean Trampos.
That was a very powerful video, and a difficult thing to follow. I am deeply honored to be here tonight. San Diego is such an incredible community, and there is such diversity here this evening, and in that diversity, we can truly change our community to make it a better place for our youth. So many who marched with us as we walked through the rainy streets. I'm really lucky that I get to work with young people every day, and it is in their efforts, in their commitment to changing the systems, challenging the conventions, questioning the assumptions about how we can be in this world, but I am inspired to continue to do this work. And it's not easy work. I do not need to tell you, gathered here tonight, on this Transgender Day of Remembrance, the risks we take in simply being ourselves in this world. To walk together, to inhabit these bodies, these expressions of self, is so brave. Because for being truly who we are, fully, authentically aligned in body and spirit, mind and soul, for that, too many in our community have lost their lives. And those lives lost, we mourn tonight. We mourn so much potential in the world for knowledge, for loving families, for learning across genders, identities, and expressions. Because only when we are talking about our gendered selves, only in educating about who we are in the world, can we reduce the fear. Because we know that fear is what causes the violence. It is the fear. Fear of the unknown. But every time we take that risk to share our story, to advocate for our transgender brothers and sisters, we reduce the fear and increase the acceptance. Maybe even garner some love. It is the responsibility of everyone in our LGBT community, not just the transgender community. And I say our LGBT community intentionally. As a cisgender male, my connections to the transgender community are real and deep, and I am proud to be in that powerful space we call coalition. For as often as we say LGBT community, that is lesbian community, the gay community, the bisexual community, the transgender community, we know that even as we are in coalition, as we name it, the broader LGBT community. And we know the LGBT community does not come easy. It is work to be in community. We challenge each other, we fight, we misunderstand, we make mistakes. Our lesbian sisters and gay brothers don't always get along. Our bisexual community, or more accurately, my bisexual community, for that is how I identify, often feels left out of the conversation, especially if we're not in same-gender relationships. And our transgender community, well, we know that sexual orientation and gender identity are two completely different, yet two deeply connected things. And yet here we are tonight, together, in the San Diego LGBT and T Community Center. That our diversity in coming together, even in those four conceptualizations of our community, is what gives us strength. We are capable of achieving so much when we work in coalition across sexual orientation and gender identity, across race and ethnicity, across class, across religions, across ability, across all of our identities and communities. Again, I am deeply honored to be here this evening speaking to you. I'm deeply honored that Connor asked me to do this. In closing, I hope for the day, I truly hope for the day, when the Transgender Day of Remembrance is when we honor all those long-living transgender elders who have been with us for a full life, not a life cut short, and who have left this world for the next, not through ignorance, not through fear, but through a life well lived, well loved, and in a community that loves them.
My name is Brett Diogum Lirio Santo da Silva. I was 45 years old when I died on November 24th, 2010. I died in Ipira, Brazil, in my own car at a market. On November 24th, 2010, I had just finished shopping, and two men pulled up on a motorcycle, shot me twice in the mouth, and fled. I was a known Afro-religious leader.
My name is Lorenza Alexis Alvarado Hernandez. I was 23 when I died on 18/12/10. In Comayagüela, Honduras, because I was stoned to death. I was found visibly beaten, burned. Bloody stones near my corpse indicated that bruises coming from all over my body were caused by stoning. I was set on fire. Used condoms found nearby have led the suspicion that I may have also been raped. After my death, the assailants threw my body into a ditch. News reports indicate that severe injuries were faced and rendered my body virtually unrecognizable.
My name is Lady Oscar. I was 45 years old. I died the 20th of December 2010 in Barrio El Rincon, Honduras. I died in my own apartment. I was killed in my own apartment and set on fire. My body showed wounds of several stabs. Neighbors reported to have seen two men running out of my apartment after it was set on fire around 1 a.m.
My name is Erica. I was 14 years old when I died on December 25th, 2010. I died in Pajucara, Mango, Brazil. I was a sex worker and was shot 11 times in the night on the 25th.
My name is N. I was 30 years old when I died on August 1st, 2011. I died in Ocoyaca, Mexico, in the forest. I was found on the 8th, completely burnt in the forest area of La Marquesa. As my body did not show any wounds, the police assumed that I was burnt alive. I was around 30
The name of this person is NN, which stands for no name. The age of this person is not reported, or the age not reported date of death. 22/01/11. Location of death: Capao Bonito, Brazil. I was found dead with 20 stabs in the face and stomach. The alleged perpetrator was the 37-year-old resident of the house near which my murder took place. He had already been charged with murder and was facing a long prison sentence.
My name is Cassandra Batista. My age is unknown when I died. The location of my death was in Cucudan, Mexico, on Tabasco Street. I worked at a bar and I was beaten to death with a hard object after I had been seen leaving the bar. My body was found near the street in Cucudan. My family suspected the crime was committed by my partner, who severely injured me in January of 2011.
My name is Carla, age 19, death June 11. Before I was killed, two persons in a whole car approached me. Two persons in the car approached me. I was beaten. No one reported the police.
My name is Carla Tovar Cardenas, age 30. My date of death is December 6, 2011. The location of death is Tala, Jalisco, in Mexico. My body was found around a week after I disappeared. My body showed marks of multiple stabs and severe beatings. 3 adolescents of 14 and 16 years of age were arrested and faced charges.
My name is Dita. I was 26 years old when I died.
on July 31st, 2011, in Istanbul, Turkey, in my own apartment. My murderer was a 26-year-old man who I met with on Facebook and agreed to have sex with. He was caught by the police and confessed. I thought that she was a woman, but she was a trans person. After learning this, I killed her.
Simon Calderone Santos Rodriguez, age 26, date of death, September 9, 2011, locale of death, Unápolis, Brazil. I was a sex worker. 2 men were seen entering my apartment at around 5 p.m. and leaving again with blood on their hands. The police were called at 5:40 p.m. and arrived only around 9 p.m. I was stabbed at least 17 times.
Goblin, and I was murdered September 10th, 2011. I was only 35 years old. I was killed from a subarachnoid hemorrhage due to 1 impact head trauma in Washington, D.C.
My name is Ramazan Ketan. I was living in Gaziantep, Turkey. The cause of my death was I was shot to death by my brother. I was 24 years old. I had had an accident and I was seeking treatment at the local hospital. My brother found out about the accident and went to the hospital and shot me to death in front of witnesses. Upon leaving the hospital, he calmly said to the police, "I killed my brother as he was a transvestite and I claimed my honor."
My name is Michael, age 23, date of death, October 15, 2011. Location of death, Dajado, Brazil. My body was found with marks of torture and a stab wound in the chest in the river Taquari. Police believe that I was killed on the weekend of October 15th and 16th, as I was missing since October 15th.
My name is Shirley Hilford. Location destroyed, Michigan. Cause of death, murder. Her body was discarnated, dismembered, and then buried. Date of death, October 23rd, 2011. Shirley was 19 years old. Her mother had identified her torso at the medical examiner's office on November the 10th, 2011.
My name is Jessica Rolla. I was strangled just last month on October 30th in Bergamo, Italy. I was 32 years old. My body had been dumped on the side of the road and was not discovered for 3 days. And as with most cases, the local news continues to disrespect me by using male pronouns and a male name.
My name was Sebastian Manuel Gonzalez Abad, known as La Mama. I was 35 at the time of my death, this October 2011. Was killed in my home in La Plata, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Calle 4. My body was found half naked and in a state of putrefaction on my bed, with a scarf around my neck. My brother called the police.
My name was Cassidy Nathan Vickers. I was shot to death with a gunshot wound to the chest, November 17th, 2011, just a few days ago in Hollywood, California. I was 32 years old. We'll now have a moment of silence to remember and honor those we lost.
All the days, all the weeks, all the months were filled with yes we cans. I called 1,000 strangers while sitting across from a Christian gay man. So I saw this lovely brother patiently speak his truth, and every call we tried to think of everything that we could do to prove our rights, to prove it's true. We are all human, no more, no less than you. We are all human, no more, no less. And we heard it everywhere, the bellowing of victory, except within the hearts of our beautiful grieving family. How to prove what's right and true? We are all human, no more, no less than you. We are all human, no more, no less. 25 years of my life, I fought for all humans' rights. I boldly loved my black boyfriends and righteously defied the ignorance. Now what a shock, what rude surprise to be on the receiving side of so much rage and so much hate from my neighbors in the shape of hate. And all because I found love inside the space of my girlfriend's face. How to prove what's right and true? We are all human, no more, no less than you. Oh, we are all human, no more, no less than you. Oh, we are all human, no more, no less. We are all human, no more, no less.
I see so many people out there, that so many people care, that all of you gave your time to be here tonight with us, and so many kinds of people. It gives me hope. It gives me hope that our children will have a better future, that our trans kids that are coming up will have a great and wonderful future ahead of them, because we here are paving the way for all the future generations to grow up happy and healthy, and as Sean said, to live a very, very long life. And I would love to have the Transgender Day of Elder Remembrance.